You're with the Ayn Rand Park Avenue walking tour?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just my own project.
Okay, and what tell us about it. What do you do?
I give about 30 different walking tours. 5 of them are about Ayn Rand. The American Revolution is another specialty of mine. This tour goes through the Murray Hill neighborhood. That's where Ayn Rand lived. And I show places that she researched and fictionalized in the foundation of Atlas Shrugged, like the Rand Studio here. This becomes the Taggart Terminal in Atlas Shrugged. At the end of this tour, I show this very nice Art Deco building, number 2 Park Avenue, designed by this gentleman, Eli Jacques Kahn. He is the architect that Rand worked for in this building to do research for The Fountainhead, which is a novel about an architect.
Yeah.
He was very tickled by the idea that an author was using his office to do research for a novel about an architect.
Now, is the building she lived in the same one that Alan Greenspan lived in?
I don't know where Alan Greenspan lived. I know a couple places where he worked downtown as a consultant, but I don't think I know of any place where he lived.
Okay.
In the Murray Hill neighborhood, I show 4 different places where Rand lived from one time to another. All on the east side, all in Midtown, and it's because she was a writer, so this is where the publishing houses and agents were, so she wanted to be near her.
Well, she started out in Hollywood, though, right?
What's that?
She started out in Hollywood.
Yeah, after she came from Russia in 1926, she was in Hollywood, then New York, then Hollywood, then New York.
Yeah.
But this is where she lived longer than any place else.
She was bi-coastal.
What's that?
She was bi-coastal, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of sirens here. Yeah. Yeah, Ayn Rand.
It's almost back to as busy as it was before COVID.
Yeah. Now, Paul Ryan says Ayn Rand was his hero, right? That's who inspired him, right? And
well, he said, I don't know what he said.
Stacey Abrams also, right?
Stacey Abrams?
Yeah, she said Atlas Shrugged is her favorite book.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Paul Ryan spoke to an objectivist group and he said, I love Ayn Rand. And then he went back to his political base, Wisconsin Irish Catholics, and he said, I don't like Ayn Rand at all.
Yeah.
So he's a politician.
Yeah. And Alan Greenspan was like her best friend, right? I mean, like her mentor.
He was in her circle.
Okay.
In the 50s.
Right.
When he was starting out and getting a reputation as an economic analyst.
But didn't he go to jazz clubs with her up into the 70s and stuff? Like they were close even when he was at the Federal Reserve?
She didn't go to jazz clubs.
Okay.
He would take her out to dinner.
Okay.
Once a month or something when he was visiting.
All right.
But no, I don't think
she wasn't
in a jazz club.
She wasn't into jazz. Okay. I thought
she was a classical music listener. She's buried in Kensico Cemetery, which is just north of North White Plains. And probably one of the reasons that she chose to be buried there is that her favorite composer, Sergei Rachmaninoff, is buried there too.
Okay.
I also do a tour there. If you'll meet me at the terminal, we'll get on the train, we'll go up to Valhalla, appropriately, the town, and I'll show you Kensico Cemetery.
Well, let me ask you.
A lot of different famous people are buried there.
Do you think her writing style was inspired by Soviet propaganda? Because that it was an attempt to take the methods of Maxim Gorky and Soviet propaganda and like apply them to capitalism?
No, not at all.
Because some people argue that the writing style, especially and also the art, like on the covers of the books and all that, kind of mimics socialist realism and the Soviet propaganda, but it's to sell capitalism.
No, not at all. She grew up reading Victor Hugo, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Sir Walter Scott, Edmund Rostand, and the other 19th century romantic writers, and that's what she wanted to do.
Okay.
She wanted to write in that style. As for the covers of her books, that wasn't up to her.
Right.
It was up to the publishing company. There was an artist, I can't think of his name, who did a series of covers for her books in the 1990s or so, long after she was dead, that are all very much in the Art Deco style of the 20s and 30s. So I like them. I don't know if Ayn would like them, but I like them. For the cover of Atlas Shrugged, she used a painting done by her husband. Her husband, Frank O'Connor, was a painter.
He was a cowboy actor too, right?
No, not a cowboy actor. He was an actor. I don't think he was in any cowboy films.
Okay.
He was in a very few films, just a couple of which I've seen.
Okay.
He was in Cimarron, based on an Edward Ferber novel, but he's only in one scene and he has only one line.
Okay. Well, let me ask also, how do you think Ayn Rand would respond to the pandemic and COVID-19? I mean, would she say just government hands off, let everyone die, let the strong survive and let the poor perish? And
No.
what would she say?
She would say, it's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a mask.
Okay.
Don't be silly.
Okay. Interesting. Right, so she was in favor of government action in emergency situations.
Well, she was in favor of government action in an emergency if necessary, but for God's sakes, wear a mask. You don't need government to tell you that.
Yeah.
There's an old Klingon saying, only a fool fights in a burning house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a situation that affects everybody collectively.
Exactly.
Requires collective action, right?
No, you don't die collectively. You die individually
Mm-hmm.
if you go around without a mask within 6 feet of people.
Oh, sure.
I'm
Yeah.
your side.
Sure, I'll back up here. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, why do you think China, Vietnam, Cuba, Venezuela, and communist countries have dealt with the pandemic so well? Why we here in the United States, where we really believe in free markets, we've done so badly?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're talking to the wrong guy on that.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with your tours. Thanks for talking to me here.
Okay.
And good luck to you. Okay.
Okay. Here's my card.
Oh,
Go to
sure.
My website. Read all about my tours.
Well, I'll check it out. Do you do other tours or just Ayn Rand?
I do about 20 or 30 different tours. My other specialty is the American Revolution.
Okay.
I give a bunch of tours on that, both downtown and up in Washington Heights. And I do one called Vaudeville, the theaters before Times Square.
Okay.
And one called Newspaper Row. Park Row downtown is where most of the newspapers were back in the days of Horace Greeley and Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst.
Very good.
So a variety.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Good luck.
Okay, and